Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning in studio. We speak with Miss Ann-Natasha second, and she is the chairman, the newly elected chairman of the Tobago People's Party. We know they had their elections there over the weekend on Sunday, and so we're going to go through the election process and everything that happened pertaining to the elections, and of course, we're going to speak about where do we go from here. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, my dear. Good morning, all of Tobago and all of the viewers.
Right. So you are the chairman of the Tobago People's Party. You had your elections on the weekend and you were elected as the chairman. Congratulations to you. We must start there. Many congrats to you. And how do you feel now in this position? I know obviously you'd have had to prepare. You know what it takes to be there. And how confident are you that you can carry this mantle and represent the organization, carrying out their objectives and their aims, as it were?
Thank you for the question. I am very happy to have competed in this internal election. I'm happy for the stage that we have arrived at. The process was exciting, and I am confident based on the support that I would have been given all wrong, the number of prayers, the calls, the different alliances that were formed, etc., that we together are going to go forward and build this party, this very Tobago-centric indigenous party, and we'll be able to accomplish everything that Tobagonians want as we prosecute autonomy. I'm very confident.
Right, that's right. That's good, and we look forward, of course, to the execution of same. And when there's elections, it's equal to competition.
Yes.
It's that literally that's what it is, and may the best man win. And in this case, depending on votes, what was it turn out like in terms of the membership of the party? Was it 100% voter turnout? What was the percentage like in your view, or do you have an official report in terms of what the turnout was like for the voting?
Right, so the people came out in their numbers, but we would not release the actual numbers, because we are a political organization. And now we have a bigger person to compete against, a bigger organization. So the numbers were very encouraging. Persons came from the east, the west, they came in maxi taxi loads and cars and so on. There was constant movement of persons at every poll station. So I want to just say congratulations to Tobago, to the membership, for understanding the importance of participating in the process and for coming out in their numbers. I thank you for my overwhelming victory, the confidence that you've placed in me so that I can continue building the party with you.
That's right. And there are members, of course, who did not win in the positions. And sometimes they can feel defeated. What is the energy like now in the party for those who participated who presented themselves as nominees, candidates rather, to be elected and were not elected? What is the energy like? How do they feel? And is the support the same as it was before we went into the election period?
Again, a very good question. On the night of the elections itself, I would have received congratulations from Ms. Chrislyn Moore. And when the final results were received, I received the commendations from Mr. Trevor James. Everyone, before we entered into this battle, was briefed by both the Internal Elections Committee, which at the time was heading the overall process. The team lead was Mrs. Natisha Charles Panting, Assemblyman Charles Panting, and our political leader, at that time interim political leader, would have briefed us on the fact that every candidate, all of us, would have the opportunity to contribute and to participate afterwards. So it was understanding that this is not a situation where if you lose the actual event, the actual competition, that your voice is not going to be part of the process. Everybody is welcome to participate. Everybody has demonstrated that they are willing to serve, and we look forward to continuing to build our party together and to taking the message out to Tobago in terms of how we can be less divided as a people and how we can move our island forward so that we can really work together to win the next 2 elections.
Right, and talking about working together and moving forward, we're thinking now, where is the TPP going from here? What is next? As you said, you're preparing for the bigger one. You're competing with a bigger party, a bigger organization. What are your next steps? What do you do next?
right? We have to get our people ready. So all of the arms of our party have to be properly structured, and our strategic planning process would have to be rolled out. We already established all of our action groups in all of the 15 districts in Tobago prior to the internal election. Now we're going to look at building that energy of our young people. So we're going to bring out our youth council, or women's council, or men's council. We're going to establish certain positions such as the legal officer. And then we want to look at special committees, because we come from many different political organizations and many different backgrounds. We have to gel as one army. So we are going to look at committees like a welfare committee, to ensure that we can get together and start moving together, understanding where we want to go, where we want to take Tobago. What is the vision of the party? What is the vision for Tobago? And we want to marry that with the THA's strategic development plan, because the party will reflect to Tobago how good governance is supposed to be translated to everyone. Training. We're going to be training at every level. So the same organizations, the same arms that I just described, women's arm, youth arm, etc., intense training will take place. We have learned a lot coming out of the internal elections process. We're building our election day machinery, and we're working together with building our communication, and all of us having the same goal and the same dream, so that we can inspire all of Tobago to be part of this process. Recruitment is high on the agenda. We're coming out in every district. We want every family in Tobago to participate in this Tobago People's Party. Every family. I was very encouraged to see people moving in blocks of families and friends to come out to vote, because that's how Tobagonians vote. And once we can move across, once we can understand that we are all moving towards autonomy together, the divisions are going to be broken down, and as a family, Tobago is going to take the Tobago East and the Tobago West seat in the next election.
Right, so heavy planning and preparation for the next upcoming election, and of course you seem quite confident that you're in a good place. In terms of, you mentioned earlier that you're competing against a bigger organization. In terms of going up against this bigger organization with all your plans that you have now, and of course, you have to do some measure of comparison. You have to look at the party to see where they are, and also to bring yourself to a place where you feel like really confident to overtake them. Where do you stand now in that position? I know you spoke about your strategic plans, what you're implementing, your training and recruitment and all of that. Where are you now? If you were to measure a percentage as to how far you are, without, of course, giving away too much of your internal secrets, where do you position yourself? Are you at a place where you are highly confident? Are you seeing that there is work to be done, but we can do it? Where do you see yourself in terms of being ready for that type of election?
Again, I wouldn't give away my hand to my enemy to say exactly where we are in terms of readiness, but we are ready for any eventuality. We did a mini election machinery process for our internal election. We touched base with our ground troops. We reconnected, and the number of talented persons that we have been able to inspire to join our party, they are now going to take the message out to the rest of Tobago. Education is going to be critical for us. We believe that to become a truly autonomous people, the people have to really understand their power. They demonstrated that for the election by coming out and voting for the message that was sent. And we have to understand what it means to be autonomous. From the fisherman, the agricultural professional, the teacher, the doctor, the nurse, the lawyer, everybody has to understand what it means for us, how we would benefit from greater autonomy, and what we have been starved of for the past however many years and however many decades. We have to understand that power lies, just as Dr. Rowley said, in the size of what he described as the kennel. And we have to understand that to attain the things that we need, we have to shrink that kennel in favor of Tobago. So we need more power in the parliament. We need more power in the Tobago House of Assembly. We need power in the minds of the people. People have to understand how to agitate for the things that they need in a professional manner that is effective. You have to be able to control your emotions and to strategically organize yourselves so that we can be successful as a people.
That's right. And this sounds like a lot of public education because you're
Yes.
talking about people must know what they are fighting for. They must know. So I'm thinking about your public education role out in terms of ensuring that the people, not just of your party, but the people of Tobago understand the importance of the autonomy that we are seeking for, and also in terms of consultations. Do you have any plans to involve the public in the discussion, in the discourse, taking the strong point? What are the things that we really desperately need? Because as an organization, you have your objectives, you know what you want, you know where Tobago is positioned, and you know where you want to take Tobago, but there are smaller voices. Is there going to be an opportunity for the smaller voices to be heard as well, so that you can put that on your agenda as well as you prepare to approach the conversation of autonomy?
Definitely. My entire marketing campaign was built on persons understanding that someone like me would represent the grassroots and the voiceless. So the voiceless, the grassroots, we want to hear from them. When we go to say thank you to our communities over the course of the next few days, we are going to begin that conversation. So we're reaching out to them, saying thank you, recruiting, building new membership, but we're beginning the teaching process one time. It's a two-way conversation. We have to understand what they are feeling, what they're experiencing, how distant it is for them for access to services, from power. And we have to understand, we have to help them to understand the actual systems and how the systems work, so that together we will all be uplifted and we want to grow. The East, I want to talk a little bit about the East and the North in terms of our socio-economic underdevelopment. When we compare it to the West, the people there are yearning for all levels of development, and they're longing for every form of education. They have their experiences and their education to share. They know what they want. We understand the expertise that is required to improve the conditions in the East. We're coming in our caravan to say thank you and to receive from you, from the ground up, what you want to see for your party and for your island.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with Ann-Natasha II, newly elected chairman of the Tobago People's Party. And of course, we must say congratulations to you. Thank you so much for gracing our studios. Thank you so much for bringing the information to us. And we wish you the very best as you move forward and prepare for bigger things to come. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us, for staying with us even up until now. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And as we go for that break, we invite you to help us. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live. We'll be right back.